Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
We don't know what else to say to each other right now. Welcome to the Lions postgame show, NFC Championship edition. My name is... Yeah.
Woo!
If we did this at halftime, we would have been absolutely insane. Up 17 points. The Lions came out looking like an absolute dream scenario.
Juggernaut.
Punched San Francisco right in the mouth. Had him on the mat.
Fuck you.
And then San Francisco got up, punched back, and knocked the ever-living shit out of the Detroit Lions in that second half. My name is Stick. That is Anson Wells. We have Spencer in here.
Yes, we do.
We have Detroit Kool-aid in the building.
Oh, hang on. Let me get Kool-Aid's camera on.
All right, we got Pete Spivak over here in the Joey Harrington. Darren McCarty is still here, champion, knower of all.
Where's he at?
Girls, this is 95 again for the Red Wings, and the thing that sucks the most, right? Which everybody in that locker room is we did it to ourselves more than what they did to us. But again, that's all for breaking down. I think that at the end of the day, I know everybody's taking it hard and stuff like this, but what a great season, and it ain't a flash in the pan. Gonna be hard to get back here. But this team, and guys, Dan Campbell has to sleep every night from now on with decisions that he made. I think it'll make him a better coach and a better organization. That's all I can ask.
Is that who you're pointing to as the first and foremost that responsible for what happened in that collapse?
No, well, it's not a collapse when you look at it. Because
you blow a 17-point lead in the goddamn NFC Championship. That's a collapse.
The collapse is execution. I brought it up on Big D Energy, right? You saw that San Fran was going to give you opportunities like they gave Green Bay, and what did Green Bay do? They didn't execute on them. What did we do to ourselves? We couldn't catch the ball. We put the ball on the turf, right? You can go down to the field goal calls in the fourth down, but that's who your coach is, you know. And unfortunately, right, live or die by it. If you're gonna be all about him when it executes, he's gonna stand in front of the mic. He's gonna tell you what he was thinking, and I'm good with it. I mean, it's part of winning or losing, and a part of this sports team. That's my coach. Now, do I wish it was different? Do I wish that it wasn't like this? Well, it could be worse, man. We could be like Atlanta in the Super Bowl against New England, and blew that lead, but. It's the execution. It's not the fact. It's the fact that you didn't catch balls, Josh Reynolds. Guys dropping balls, guys putting it on the turf in the wrong time. So the accountability, self-awareness, that's what I preach. I think that they'll have it. And this loss will catapult them to more victories. Why do I say that? Because I lost the first cup, lost whatever, and I'm sitting here with 4 Stanley Cups, and no matter what Sam Flannel says, you know what?
Yeah, fuck you, Flannel.
Exactly. Yeah. So hopefully this is
fuck you.
Look, yeah, exactly. Fuck you. Fuck you, post game and whatever. And it hurts now, and it's supposed to hurt. But God, what a ride! And everybody who watched and went through it for the stream with us all year round, the ebbs and flows and the ups and downs, and you just guess what? You came up short. But look at it. Look at the reasons why, and look at the positions that you're gonna improve on. So that's all it is. You guys have a great night.
Thank you, 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty. It's
D-Mac.
always good to get D-Max. All season long, he's just enjoyed. The ride.
That's the man.
I hope it's the beginning, because you bring up the Falcons, and when they blew that lead,
we're not the fucking Falcons, and we're not fucking whatever it is. But what I'm saying is that the fact is that this organization, this is going to be a defining moment for them, for Brad Holmes, for Dan Campbell, to the draft and stuff like this.
Rest
and
in
I
peace.
believe that. Hey, Stick, you've been kicked in the studies times, right?
Yeah.
But what do you and I always say?
We all have.
Right? Until you get punched in the face, right? Whatever like that. Now, unfortunately, guys like us have been punched in the face. This is the ultimate kick in the nuts, punch in the face. But Dan Campbell, you did it to Dan Campbell. Is he going to get back up?
He better fucking get back up. He will.
Is he going to get back up? Or is he going to sit there and wallow and cry?
The type of man that he is, I would see this as being exactly what he needs, what the team needs. It's not what we wanted. It's not what they wanted. But you look at San Francisco, and they've been there 4 out of the last 5 years. They've taken steps to get to this point. They had the experience on us today. That was obviously more than apparent.
See, and you could, I agree they had experience on us, but that's not what cost us the game.
No,
D-Mac said it's the drop passes.
Not making plays.
And, you know,
Cheer up.
yeah, thank you, D-Mac.
Cheer up.
Thank you, D-Mac. That'll cheer me up. But, like, I sit here in my MCDC shirt.
Yeah.
I love MCDC.
No, he's
Anson,
gonna
what's the one knock I've always had on this dude?
The gambler, man.
That's what he does.
And he
That's what
got
he
us
does.
here, so I'm not going to complain about it. But God,
Well,
I
see,
was
now-
so
It's about
frustrated.
making
I was
plays.
so like when he kicked the field goal at the end of the first half, I was like,
Yes.
all right,
The
he's
evolution
smart,
of Dan.
yeah. But it was too sweet to pass up that 4th down 2 times in a row, and he just had to do it. And let's be honest. Who of us was talking about our field goal kicker going into this game?
Nobody.
Anybody
really.
in this room?
No.
Bring up how the field goal kicker was
No.
going to be a factor?
No.
But that's something we knew all season long,
Yeah.
that we did not have a reliable field. And what came back to bite us in the ass?
Yeah.
You're not a complete team
But
without that field goal
It's
kicker.
also what Dan Campbell does is he puts his guys in situation to make plays. He put those guys in situations to make plays, to get the first down, to win the game, and they didn't make the plays. And that's all it is. You're like, it took big-time players, make big-time plays in big-time spots. Nobody stepped up and made a play when you had to have it for the Lions today.
Just the fans writing stick. You don't know if that 48-yard field goal is going to be made. You're right, but Anson brought up a good point. If we had a Justin Tucker or a reliable field goal kicker on our team, wouldn't you feel like it was going to be made?
Well, you'd feel like they'd be attempting it at the very least.
Yeah.
And I think that's prevented him all season long. And it's gotten just where it's become a trend and almost a rut that we fell back into today. And I am going to go back to experience, because experience tells you that when you look at a score, just like the Dallas game, this isn't a shootout. It wasn't at the time that we decided to go for it in the 3rd quarter after they had gotten their first score since their first drive, okay? So when you're looking at a team that's midway through the 3rd quarter and they only have 10 points, you know you need every point that you can get. It's not a shootout where we have to have touchdowns.
Yeah.
And so for me, at that point, that was where the coaching staff showed their lack of experience in big game moments. They grew. They took the 3 at the end of the first half. And that was a situation now where you seeded 2 opportunities to get 3 points, possibly 6 points. All they have to do is hit one of those field goals, and we're in overtime, or this whole game is completely cast different.
Yeah.
But, again, you have to take these steps.
And the Gibbs
know,
fumble, man. The Gibbs fumble.
The Pistons
That
lost
was
to
the
the
killer, man.
Nets.
That was
they
a killer.
lost to the Celtics. You know, D-Mac talking to
I know
the
they
Avalanche,
lost to
the
me,
Devils. There's always
it's
going to be a
different.
team.
It's different in series
But I think
sports
that this is
to
the
me,
perfect
right?
team to lose to, because they have set the form of what we are trying to be.
I get that, but it's different in one and done scenarios when you only have to win 2 more to win it all. It's right there. It was right there.
Yeah.
And all they had to do was hold on to a 17-point lead
Yep.
in the second half. You didn't have to go out and blow them out, but you just had to
Not lose.
trickle points on the board, hit a couple field goals. If you hit a couple field goals, that's it. The game's over. But instead, you go for it, and God bless him, it's Dan Campbell. Like I said, I got my MCDC. I'm not jumping off the Dan
I'm not either.
Campbell. I love
not
that
either.
man.
Coach of the year.
What he's done for
Coach
this
of the
team,
year.
Coach of the year. So it's tough to do this post-game show right now because the Lions were in the NFC Championship game, tied going into the 4th quarter, and I would have taken that 100 times out of 100 during the season if you would have offered that to me.
I would have taken
But
it. Yeah.
we're sitting here with the L, so we have to acknowledge what went wrong. So this is a very tough post-game show to do because I'm happy for the season looking back
Of
at
course.
it, right?
Pete
But
said it.
I'm
Pete
not
said it. This is-
satisfied with
No.
what was right
No.
in front of these dudes. And this is those moments that can haunt you for the rest of your life. Life.
They'll be back. I'm
Well,
not worried about it.
He
They'll
brought
be
up
back.
Atlanta. Atlanta never went back. I definitely see
They'll
massive
be back.
differences between this team and the team that went and got smoked.
This team
by
is different from
Washington.
Atlanta. This
No,
team
but
is
it's
the way Brad Holmes built this team through the draft, the way he continues to supplement great pieces in the draft every year. You're going to be back. This team is built for success, built for the long run. So, yeah, do I want to win? Obviously, I want to fucking win. I want to be in a Super Bowl. I want to win a Super Bowl. But it's not the end of the world.
No.
Like, we'll be back. This is not a one-and-done thing.
Well, and to compare, he brought up Atlanta. I'm comparing it to Atlanta as well as our 91 team that went out and got smoked in Washington. And I don't see many similarities in this team at all. Yeah, you can compare Barry to Gibbs, but this team is obviously going in places.
The future's in front of them, but you just never know what's going to happen in the NFL.
But the
and that's
problem
what
is,
scares the hell out of me.
It's so hard to get back to this point.
Right.
And
it was so hard to get here.
They were so hot.
They weren't the worst team on the field tonight. Like,
No.
they are a better
No, they
team
were
than the
not.
San
They
Francisco
weren't.
49ers.
That's the deal.
And that's what sucks,
That's what's so
because
hard.
they dropped balls because they fumbled, but if they were a better team, I guess they wouldn't have done those things. So, but those were so uncharacteristic of what we saw all season long. You didn't see Josh Reynolds dropping 2 easy passes.
Yeah.
Gibbs, when's the last time you saw him fumble? Like, that was not a thing throughout the year. Laporta drops a big one on 3rd down. It's just all these things. Jack Fox hits the most beautiful fucking 70-yard punt you've ever seen, lands at the 1, and we step on the inch line. You know, right before the end of the game, the other tight end, what the hell was his name that caught the ball? Firsker. He steps out of bounds when he could have easily scored and kept another 20 seconds on the clock,
Yeah.
which could have given them at least possession. Like, just, you look back in hindsight, which is the easiest thing to do, and there's so many moments where the Lions beat themselves.
Oh, yeah.
The 49ers didn't drop the ball. We did.
Yes.
And that just to me was youth versus experience, and the youth got us here. I'm not denigrating them by any means, but their inexperience just popped all over this game, and I really believe that was the difference. You know, I think that the coaches are just as equally, if not more, guilty of some inexperience and some crucial moments. The run on the last defensive stand, or excuse me, on the last possession on 2nd down to get into the end zone, cost us the timeout that really could have changed the complexion of that end of that game. Because if we have that timeout, we're looking at the ball with 30, 40 seconds. Does that mean that we score? I don't know. But there's little things that I think, like D-Mac said, this is going to sit like a nasty taste in their mouth all summer long. And we get to fill these holes that have become far and few between compared to what they were last season. We're a free agent destination. Things are on the up and up, but they pissed away a massive opportunity.
17-point lead in the second half.
Massive, bro.
Just hang on to the ball.
Are you going to ask me about it? I know you guys are avoiding the question.
I don't even want to fucking
I
do
know,
it.
bro.
not-
But listen, it was a tale.
Kool-Aid, how you feeling right now, man?
You know what? No, you know what?
No way.
He's silent on. I got the buffs on. They beat themselves in this game. But Dan Campbell, this coaching staff, these players, they have me confident for the future. I'm not going to switch up over everything I've been saying over the last 2, 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, the things that we've seen them prove. This team has shown me that they are for real. This isn't like some of these past Lions teams. This isn't like some of the other teams in the NFL who've kind of been through these types of situations. This team, to me, is different. I'm going to remain confident. I think this is just the beginning for our Detroit Lions. I'm stoked, not scared. This isn't something where we go and we flip-flop. I get it. We're going to have to break down this game, talk about what went wrong. But this, I believe, if the Dallas loss was octane, this one, bro, it's just pure gasoline for them again. I believe that they're going to be very, very, very disappointed in themselves and have everything in the tank to go next year to absolutely run roughshod again in the NFC North division and give themselves an opportunity to get back here. I really do, man. I'm not scared. I'm more like pissed because we all know that they cost themselves. This wasn't something where they went out there and got housed and it looked like they didn't belong. This was one where we know our squad belonged, and that ultimately matters to me, man.
And on
It
a
does.
micro level, we've seen this team do nothing but be resilient and bounce back from situations like this and use it as fuel to get better. Just like this is Dallas game, but all summer long. They're going to be pissed off and focused all summer long. And I mean, I can't imagine that anybody's going to look at this team and see anybody aside from the 49ers as being a favorite over them to win the NFC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
but I don't want to wait for next year.
No.
I wanted to wait 2 fucking weeks.
You wanna be in fucking
to see
Vegas.
if Pat Mahomes could take on the Detroit Lions, and the script was there. First game of the season, last game of the season.
But you know why you feel that way, Stick? Because you know this is different.
It's different, but I also know how hard it is to get back there. Like, look at the clowns that just beat us, right? They've been there 5 times and haven't won shit.
Yeah.
Like, they were on the verge of becoming the Buffalo Bills of the NFC, just constantly not being able to get over the hump. And they still got to go win a Super Bowl. But, like, that's what I'm pissed that they missed the moment, man. It was right there. Tie ball game even. 4th quarter. You have it to go up. Like, it was right there.
But you know the people who are out there that want to say those 3-letter words? My question to you is this team different?
If you're asking me, ask that motherfucker.
I mean, today
That's the guy, right?
I knew this
Your
question was going
standard
to come
was
up.
Super Bowl.
No, I'm saying 'cause I
Today
know
was a
you're
tale of
pissed,
2 halves.
But you know this team is different, and that's what I mean. Like I said, we got to break it down. We got to go through the therapy
Sure.
of what this was, of costing yourself. But for me personally, I have never believed in the Detroit Lion team more than I have tonight, man. Like, I know that this isn't the end. If the 49ers, the team that we just saw our Lions go out there, they were better than this team and they cost themselves.
It
if
sucks.
they've gone 3-4, whatever many times in a row, it's our time, man. It's our time. And I want it to sting all off season, not just for the fans, but for this organization, and let it fuel you in a completely different way. In a completely different way than some of these past seasons where we lose in the playoffs and we're just happy to be there. No, we hosted a home playoff game. We got another one. We handled business. We should have took care of business here, and the moment got a little too big for them. That's okay for right now. I know it's difficult to get back to these types of purchase, but if we believe in Brad and Sheila and Dan and all the things we've been talking about all year, I know what it's going to be next year.
It sucks. It sucks because, yeah, it is hard to get back there. This team is built to get back here, and now they have a taste. You have a taste of what it takes. You have a taste of how you win these games. You know now this is what it takes to win the NFC. This is what it takes to win in the playoffs. You saw the graphic before the game. It was, 7 players have played in a championship game, or players have played in a championship game 7 times on the Lions compared to 73 on the 49ers.
17,
you were up 17, but that you got to close. You got to close. You got to finish. You got to make fucking plays. The Lions did not make plays in the second half at all.
No.
And the 49ers did, and that's why they lost.
And it's not only that they didn't make plays, they made the worst plays.
Yeah.
You know, the turnovers. And then, we'll keep going back to it, not taking the points or a chance at the points because you didn't have a reliable kicker, which, as much as we praise Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes for having the right players on this team in the positions, that is also their responsibility to find a kicker to fill this roster that you can trust for a 47-yard field goal on the road in the NFC Championship game. That is a weakness that wasn't addressed all season long. I know Neil Rule, who sits in this seat 11-1 Monday through Friday, he was hollering to draft Moody.
Yeah.
Moody missed one today, but he also hit a couple big ones too. If you have Jake Moody on this team, it may have been a different outcome. Who knows? I can't predict the future.
Badgley was 1 for 1.
He was 1 for 1,
Yeah.
but you had to pass on typically NFL
Kickable
80, 90% makeable field goals.
Yeah.
Anything within 50 you feel in the NFL should be made by your kicker,
Yes.
essentially.
And they're at the point now where they weren't even really going to consider Badgley more often than not. You know, I mean, this guy just hit a 52-yarder. They never really even considered it. And I think that was born from the fact that they didn't have a kicker for the majority of the season. So that's the style of football that we played. But I got to say, you know, you guys have been giving me a hard time about those 3-letter words, but I'm gonna say them for the first time in a long time. This was a tale of 2 halves. This was BNL up against SOL. And SOL kicked their ass in the second half, period. If you're going to kid yourself and say that the second half of this game was not the Lions of old, then you haven't been watching them long enough, okay?
It's just tough because the Lions of
now
old
let
wouldn't
me
even
finish,
fucking be
damn it.
there.
This is my moment here,
No,
all
okay.
right? They have not done anything that we have not seen yet this year. They didn't do anything except for win nearly tripled, but doubled their playoff total. And this young team, we can't lose faith in them. I absolutely know that this is different than what we experienced 30 years ago. Now, are we going to get back to the NFC? Are we going to make it to the Super Bowl next year? I don't know that, but I know that we will be one of the last 4 teams in this division for the next 4 or 5 years. And that's something that no Lions regime has ever given us, which is consistency in competing for a championship. So we've got some work to do, and I'm still in that old camp, bro, but you watched it today. The Lions of old, the cursed Lions, fought the brand new Lions today, and unfortunately the ghosts of the past caught up with them today, along with a little bit of gambling from our coach.
Pete,
Yo.
we haven't talked to you yet.
You hate it.
You've been over there working.
Yeah, I'm over here just monitoring, waiting for the post-game sound. But what do you got? You want me to throw in a little 2 cents here?
I would love to hear from you, Pete.
A+ season for the Lions. A+ season for the Lions, just for the fact that they came into the season with only 1 playoff win since 1957. They got 2. And the 2 that they got, everybody freaking enjoyed. Don't give me the fact that they should have played the Green Bay Packers and they would have won at home. The Green Bay Packers were hot as hell going into that game against the 49ers and played the 49ers to the best of their ability. Guys, there was nothing wrong with them. The season didn't finish the way that we all wanted to, but there was nothing wrong with this season. They killed the SOL. The SOL is dead. I mean, I understand what Anson was saying about the tale of 2 halves, bro.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
But SOL is dead. That was just a good football team making bad mistakes. That's exactly what we saw. There was nothing wrong with this Lions season except for the way it ended. They have so much momentum going forward, and I have absolute confidence in what they have given this fan base. And the fan base should not be ripping on the Lions. I mean, I'm looking at some of you guys in the chat right now. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Stop with the Dan Campbell failed and all that stuff. He's coach of the freaking year. He wouldn't be coach of the year if he didn't do what he came here to do, and that was win, and he's a winner. He's a winning coach.
There's
so A+ for the season.
There's not a Lions fan that wouldn't have sold their soul for an NFC championship appearance at the start of the season.
That's what you and I were talking about.
17-point lead at halftime. And a 17-point, hey, here's what's going to happen, Lions fans. You're going to go to the NFC Championship game. We're going to give you a 17-point lead at halftime. You're right. I would have sold my soul for that. I would and that's what makes this hurt so bad. Because it was right fucking there. It was right there.
It really hurts bad.
Right there.
It hurts so bad.
Close.
God.
Having so much to say. Yeah, it fucking sucks, man.
313-552-6322. 313-552-6322 is the phone number. Kool-Aid, we got the phones popping. People waiting.
You already know
it's jam-packed.
Is Biggins on?
He's actually not on. People started calling really quickly, but first up, we got Karen from Detroit. But right now, she's out on the west side. Out on the west coast.
What's going on? Hello?
Hey, Karen?
No, go to the next one, Kool-Aid. Maybe she hung up. We took a while to get to the phones. 313-552-6322 is the phone number.
Steven from Cali?
Steven. Hey, there you are. What's going on, man?
First of all, we got to the NFC Championship. How big is that?
We did. We
did?
Big deal. I feel like when we walked away from the running game in the second half,
yes,
we gave the ball to Goff a lot. It took us apart. And I watched it, and I was watching with a couple people, and I just kept saying, man, our running game was carrying us. We stopped shooting the ball. We just looked a mess.
Can I throw something in there? We set a record in the Super Bowl era. We were the only team ever in the first half of play in a game in the NFL to have 3 players with 40 yards or more rushing and a touchdown. Set a record of all time. So yeah, to your point, I thought we had to run the ball all game, and they went away from it in the second half. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, it absolutely it took away momentum. It shocked us, and then the defense saw it, and they honed in. And after that, it just never turned back around. I don't want to blame anyone. I think the coaches are new there. We had a lot of young guys. So it's hard to expect them to walk into a veteran team like this and outplay them. But I do feel like we had it where we wanted it. We just didn't know how to close it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you hope this is a learning curve, right? and you hope that they can apply this to the games next year. You just hope that they can get there next year too. That's the thing that's worrying me right now. Is oh my gosh, injuries happen,
Weird
strange
shit.
things happen, coordinators leave, team chemistry switches up. Like I really thought this team was on that special 04 Pistons type run.
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of the guys. I felt like we overperformed a little bit, but it showed the heart, it showed the hustle. Next year we come back, we're back in the playoffs, I believe. So
I appreciate your call, man, and it's just it's a weird night to be a Lions fan because you have to be proud of what they achieved, but you also have to be incredibly disappointed about what we just witnessed. Kool-aid, who else we got?
Hey, we got let me see, Ed from SoCal.
What's up, Ed?
Hey, how you guys doing? I know we're all disappointed.
Yep.
But I got to tell you, there is no SOL. There's only same old Lions fans. I've been watching this team since 1974, and I've seen hot buttered garbage for most of my life. And for the first time in my life, we are the baddest man on the block. We walked into the champion's house, we punched them dead in the mouth, and we said, we're here.
Yeah.
We're going to reload next year. Veldor, God bless him, hit him in the face with an interception. Next play, touchdown.
Ugh.
Jahmyr Gibbs, fumble. He's a young player. Who thinks he's not going to bounce back? Who thinks he's not the man? He's McCaffrey. Okay? Brad Holmes is going to load us up. We're coming back. We've got a great coach. We've got a great organization. We have never been this set up for success. This is what good teams go through. We didn't have our offensive line. We're going to lose coordinators. Good teams, that happens all the time. And the good teams stand true. Be proud of our boys. And for all the people in the chat who are just yipping and yapping, you couldn't wait for this moment, piss off, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank
These
you.
guys gave you their heart and soul. They bleed for this city. They were crying because they let you down, and you're going to talk shit? You know what? Go eat a bag of dicks. All right? I'm proud of my boys. I'm sorry to say that on your show.
You're fine.
But
Much worse has been
I'm
said.
proud of my
Love that
guys.
call.
They'll be back on the wagon
Spenny.
week 4 next year anyway.
That's right. And, dude, stop with the SOL shit. This
Right.
is not the thing.
Listen, I got to
It's
see
not
something
the
I've never
thing.
seen before.
You just did.
I
You
think
saw
it's-
this whole season. You never saw 2 wins.
Listen, this team's totally different, man. I think that, well,
It
at the
is
same
totally
point, though,
different.
we're going
It's
to
not
see.
the same as the last time.
What's
the
that?
last time we went to the championship game, we got bitch slapped up
Bad.
and down the field.
Bad.
We were embarrassed.
Totally different.
We had Scott
Yeah.
Mitchell.
Well,
who got
we represented
sneezed on
well
and
today.
got a concussion.
We
This is
represented
new.
well today. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for your
All
call,
right,
man.
guys. Hey, I love you. Go Woodward
We
Sports.
love you too,
don't
man.
Don't get too down. We're coming.
No.
Yep.
It's,
Coming all over. Gregory Williams in the chat. Thank you, man. He said, I said that here in New Hampshire at the bar, we can't have it both ways. You live by the 4th down call,
No
and
doubt.
we've died by the 4th down call. SOL is dead.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's why, like I said, I got my Dan Campbell shirt on, and I'm not going to back down now. I don't like those calls. But I didn't like them all season, and they got them too. So, that's how it is, right? That's
Yeah.
how it is with Dan Campbell. You hope he evolves. You hope maybe
Has
he
to.
understands the situation a little bit better. But I wouldn't want to ride in a battle with anybody else. Like, if you say Kyle Shanahan's a better coach, I don't have much to prove that, because if you give Dan Campbell as many shots in the NFC Championship game as Kyle Shanahan, I bet you they're coming out with a ring.
Yeah. Well, speaking of coaches, sleep on this. Ben Johnson's coming back. Fucking book it right now.
Yeah, you think so?
It's happening.
Uh-oh.
They got a mission to accomplish. Watch Jared Goff re-sign and take $5-7 million less, Tom Brady style.
That's the one thing.
I
This
think this-
definitely discounts Jared Goff.
He's
Like,
owed 31.6 next year.
I don't think it really discounts him.
Yeah, it does. He was going to be a $50 million contract if he got us to a Super Bowl.
I agree.
Okay, but
Now
I don't
you
think
make
it was
him
his
for
fault that we
40.
lost today.
I don't think it was either.
Okay.
But if you get that accomplishment,
Sure, you're right.
The money
You're
keeps
right.
going, baby.
You're right.
And now it's like, hey, we really haven't gotten there yet.
No
So
doubt.
we're not going to pay you like a Patrick Mahomes, because he's, like that type of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's bigger than his market value. I think that there is a unity and belief in this locker room and the organization. I still think we're going to lose some guys. Might even be Ray Agnew, but I think Ben Johnson's coming back. The reason I'm even bringing that up, though, is I wonder how much of that fourth down enthusiasm is coming directly from Dan Campbell. Is some of that coming from Ben Johnson? I mean, he's the one calling the plays.
It's Dan Campbell.
Is
He's
Do
the
we
one
know this
walking
for
down the
sure?
sideline, looking at how
Right?
far they got to go. That's not Ben Johnson doing
I
that
think
shit.
you're right,
That's
too.
Dan Campbell.
So what I'm getting
That's
at
him
is
just going pointing.
what I'm getting at though is let's play the scenario out where Ben Johnson does leave. Okay. With a new offensive coordinator in here, do you think that alters what we do? Do you think it has to be a kicker, a good one, that alters what we do on fourth down? Do you think it has to be both, or are we just going to continue to roll sevens?
You gotta get a kicker on this team. You have to. Even if you gotta overpay at this point, just go get it. Like you're 1/3 of a team because you can't be a threat inside the 30-yard line.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like high school kids are kicking 47-yard field goals on the regular.
High school women.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who's the dude from
For
Alabama? That's who they should get.
Who gives a shit? Just go get a good kicker.
That's the
I don't
dude I
know.
want.
Yeah,
Kathy Ireland is available, guys.
necessary roughness.
Kathy Ireland is available. All right, let's do this.
She's been trending since the Sports Illustrated died. That's great.
her.
Love
She should be trending.
it. She should be trending.
For life.
Huge part of my childhood. Kool-Aid, who else we got on the phones, baby?
Hey, next up we got Jay from Detroit.
What's up, Jay? How's it going in Detroit, man?
Hey, hello. How you guys doing?
Good,
all right.
man.
We all right.
Yes. One thing to say one thing about Jared Goff and his contract situation as far as negotiation. I don't think he has to go to the Super Bowl to negotiate a $50 million a year contract, because there's a lot of guys that's right now that's making that amount of money haven't even sniffed the Super Bowl, and he's gotten closer to any of them. Herbert, Allen. There's a few guys. I mean, and right now, Jared Goff is a hot commodity. He's proven he can get you at least 15 minutes from the Super Bowl.
True.
Listen, it's tough to argue. He had, like, the season that he's had, he was number one in yards. He put up he did his thing, and it wasn't his fault at all that those passes were dropped. Those were put in the right spots today.
Right.
But I'm just saying that he doesn't have that max leverage now that he would have had.
Yeah.
But he still has plenty enough leverage.
Oh, it's true. It's true. I love Jared Goff. That's my guy. Like,
Yeah.
Question is,
I was
so-
fighting
Yeah.
for him all season long.
But is he going to use it? Is there something different in this city and on this team, the way that we saw with Brady and the Patriots, where guys are willing to take a little less to keep it together? That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm thinking. We saw it. I said last season I didn't think we were losing Ben, and here he is back. I know that there's been some conjecture over whether he really said how much it would take, like $12+ million to sign him. But I think that the Lions really are on something else, man. I think that we're going to see a lot of these guys come back.
Kool-Aid, who else we got on the phones? 313-552-6322 is the phone number. It's the Lions NFC Championship postgame. Not quite as hype as we wanted to be, but also in retrospect, it was a pretty goddamn good season. Who else we got on the phones?
Hey, we got Walker from Detroit.
What's up, Walker? How you feeling, man?
Hey, man, not feeling too bad. What's going on with you guys?
This is it, man.
I feel like brand new Lions are still alive, all right? Next year, what are we going to be happy with? Are we going to be happy with making the playoffs, or what are our goals for next year? Let me know, boys.
Super Bowl or bust next year.
Yeah. I mean,
all in. I'm all in on that, boys. Cheers. Let's go.
Cheers,
take care, brother.
Cheers.
Take care next year. I mean,
yeah, but that's it. The ceiling, the floor is now the ceiling.
Yeah. Well, so let's say we win the division again and lose in the NFC Championship.
Failure.
To me, that's a huge sign of SOL being gone. As much as it would have been to make the Super Bowl and lose this year and not win the division next year. Because it's this sustained success that this franchise has never had, well, not since the 50s at least, that I think that this regime has brought here. And I will put my money on it next season, getting to the Super Bowl and winning it. takes crazy bounces like Vildor's tipped interception into a touchdown or a catch. But
I told Kool-aid earlier this week when I was filling in. Pete, I don't know if you were watching the show, but I said the difference in this game is going to be an act of God.
Yeah,
because I like the way these two teams.
Yeah, good point.
And I literally said those words. And that's exactly what that type of play is. I told you, like a random tip, something crazy, and what was it? A fucking bomb off a face mask into Ayuk's hands.
We're going to see that clip for the rest of our lives.
And I thought Lamar Jackson catching his own pass was going to be like the most magical play we saw all day.
I thought he was going to break that for a tutty,
oh
man.
My God. I was like, that was amazing. And then here comes Ayuk catching him off face masks.
Oh, dude. Yeah, even crazier play.
It was right there. The NFC Championship was right there.
It was an act of God. You're right on that
game, bro.
You're right.
It's like that's out of a million times that's never gonna happen.
Exactly.
And it happened. It's like, oh God.
Now, can I ask you something? Do you guys believe in bad mojo? Because how many hundreds of thousands of texts went between Detroiters at halftime celebrating a win? Because I'll tell you, the texts I got at halftime are a whole lot different than these texts that I have right now.
I think they were celebrating that win before the game even started.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get a ton. We're still Lions fans. I think everybody was proceeding with caution. I think it was more disbelief. Like, what are we watching?
Yeah.
What just happened? How did the Lions just punk them in the first half? Just absolutely punked them, and then they came back and hit us even harder.
We got punked.
Ew, oof.
But that's the thing, man. That's the thing.
Is this going to hurt worse tomorrow? Or
It's going to hurt forever.
If
That's
we got
the thing.
punked, it would hurt more for me. But when you see that it's their own self-inflicted wounds, it's like it almost feels like, yo, run it back. Obviously, this season's over for the Detroit Lions right now. But this wasn't a situation where they went out there and the first half was just them stringing together some lucky plays to get the lead. And then the second half was them regressing back to some level that they should have been at. This was a game in which they had it in their hands, and you can pinpoint exactly where they lost the game. And no point, my top 5 reasons for them losing the game, none of them have to do with the 49ers. It has to do with the Detroit Lions.
100%.
That's the whole point of it to me, man.
Great point. Great point.
And that's not what Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions do.
Yeah,
they
that was
don't beat
uncharacteristic,
themselves.
man.
They do make the big plays.
Tough.
Reynolds catches those balls. Laporta catches that shit. Gibbs doesn't fumble that.
See, I honestly have a bigger issue with the game ending that way because it's just far too reminiscent for me of old times. And I would have rather seen just to duke them out and I mean, the emotional roller coaster of what happened. It felt like when we went, what 6-0 the one year? I mean, like, it's always been this with the Lions. It's always extremes. And today was the greatest microcosm of being a Lions fan. Fuck, man.
Yeah. Who else we got, Kool-Aid?
You know what? Next up, let's bring this guy's a great name, Brandon from Columbus. I don't know if he lives in a great place though.
Uh-oh. What's up, Brandon?
Hey, how's it going? To clarify the air, original Detroiter in Columbus.
Okay.
All right.
Thank God.
Yeah, go Blue, baby.
Go Blue. Oh, you're great again.
Yeah.
Go green.
The only word I can have to describe today is just agony. Being up 17 at half and then just watching us completely fall apart the second half. It just leaves me pissed, and you know, some people might hate me for saying this, but I think if you're just praising the great season we had, which don't get me wrong, we did, it's a loser mentality right now. I feel like as a Lions fan, you have a right to be pissed off about what happened the second half of the game. I mean, we were 30 minutes away from the Super Bowl, and then we just laid an egg.
We were 15 minutes. It was a tie game going into the fourth. Like, you're 15
that is
minutes.
True, yeah.
You had the ball down 3 and could have scored a touchdown with like 12 minutes to go. I mean, yeah, it was right there. Like, I'm not angry. I'm just like sad that they missed the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not angry because like I can't be. Like these guys made me so happy, and I know it may sound like a loser mentality right now because the Super Bowl was the fucking right there. It was right there, but
I think I might get more and more pissed as time goes by and I scrutinize and pick apart this game, because in the middle of the third quarter, we have an opportunity to kick a field goal and we go for it on fourth, and the momentum, just goes like that.
Oh, we hit on 18.
Yep. Yeah, you called it. Perfect analogy.
We hit on 18, and dealer was showing a 6. Like, we were in an ideal situation. And I feel like, it's like I heard you guys talking about earlier, we lost this game ourselves. It wasn't the 49ers beating us. We lost our own damn game.
Yeah, and that's what pisses you off the most, because that's not what this team did all year. Like, this was the brand new Lions. Like, I didn't see this all year. Ugh. Well, thanks for the call, man. We appreciate it. And
I'm glad somebody else is saying it.
Aww.
I'm glad. Listen,
yeah, you've been waiting for this moment, you son of a bitch.
I didn't want this to happen.
He's been waiting for this all season.
Test.
I'm glad somebody else is finally seeing what I've been saying.
I wasn't waiting for a 17-point collapse in the fourth quarter of a game that we dominated the first half. I'm sorry, but this is so fucking Lions. It's disgusting. And I had to walk away, This, I'm sorry, bro, but this is a brand new Lions regime. This whole thing is going to be here for a long ass time, but we pissed something so special away. Destiny was at our doorstep and we fucking shut it.
Would you rather lose this game or lose in the Super Bowl?
Lose in the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Just double check and just making sure.
It's the Super Bowl monkey, bro.
A Super Bowl?
Just making sure, dude.
I'm so sick of that fucking graphic. We've never been to the Super Bowl. It's like, man, just enough. And I wouldn't have been satisfied losing there, and I'm not satisfied with tonight. I'm just also, let's be fucking real. No, if I would have told you this outcome, you would have accepted it.
Absolutely.
Week 1.
We were talking. Anson and I were talking about that.
Well, Maz this morning was talking about he was out in San Francisco years ago, and he was talking. It was San Francisco and I believe, or wherever he was, it was San Francisco and the Packers. And he was just running into these people, and they were sharing all of their different Super Bowl stories, and then other people from other cities were. And it's just a conversation we are not allowed in right now. And we still aren't allowed in. So, yeah, absolutely. Win or lose, give me the Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah, every single day. Every day of the week.
I just wanted to rile up the chat a little bit. That's all I was trying to do.
Mission accomplished.
I'm all about the ratings, baby.
God, could you? These next 2 weeks would have been glorious.
Oh, I know.
Glorious. We would have woke up every day feeling good. Wouldn't have mattered. Nothing would have mattered for the next 2 weeks.
Bro, I've been cashing checks. I've been cashing. We're in the Super Bowl checks for 2 days already. I was like, it's going to be great. 2 weeks. We're going to have an extra week to just gloat, sit in this afterglow, and it's going to be amazing. And I definitely, man, everybody, I'm like, dude, this is our year. We're the team of destiny. I really, I bought in.
Yeah.
Hook, line, and sinker, man.
Kool-aid, who else we got on the phones?
Hey, look, we're going to try Karen from Detroit again.
All right, let's go, Karen.
I can hear some
hello?
music.
Hey, what's up, Karen? What's going on?
Hello?
You getting freaky? What's going on?
Oh, my God. Okay, first of all, I would like to say, the Lions did so good. This was their this was preseason. It was preseason. They're going to do so much better. This was just a taste of what they have in store.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that a lot.
It was just a fucking taste.
Did you go to the game?
Okay, there.
Did you pass out?
Were you out in San Francisco or are you
Dude,
back
I
here in
was fucking
Detroit?
about to.
Yeah, I'm about to.
Dude.
So
they're do so much better.
That's what's frustrating. They can play with the 49ers. They can beat the 49ers. If that game was at Ford Field, I think you'd favor the Lions 100% of the time. And just up 17 points in the half, you should have 100% of the time.
If it was at Ford Field, they definitely would have fucking won. But they would have fucking done it. I'm so sad. Oh my God, I can hear myself.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for calling in. She seemed like she had a great night, regardless
She's
of the
having
outcome.
a great night still.
Yeah.
Yep. And ultimately, Lions fans can be super proud. You know, it was a great season. So I think that's the kind of the sentiment. You know, like if San Francisco lost, their faithful would just be ready to hang their coach. They'd be super down. And I think that the residing sentiment when everybody wakes up tomorrow and next week is that we got one of the best teams in the NFL, and they're coming back, and they're going to be better next year.
313-552-6322 is the phone number. Pete, you got anything over there?
No sound yet. I'm continue to refresh. Nothing yet, but I'll let you know.
Oh, God. You know who's going to be insufferable this week?
Yeah.
Lindsey Hunter.
Yeah. He's going to rub it in.
He actually believes
he's going to have
in
that
Detroit
smug
Lions,
motherfucking look. Lindsey was right. Let's make a bit out of it. It's like,
We love you, Lindsey, but damn it.
This was the game that was going to shut everybody up forever. Yeah. And they 17 points in the second half. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable to blow this game.
You're going to wake up way more pissed off tomorrow than you are right now. I'm telling you, Sam. It's going to happen.
I can't imagine what's going on in that locker room right now. Like, the message that's being sent. How that team's feeling. Knowing that, like, that team's never going to play on the field again. Like, the starters essentially will be the same, but it's not, like, one-year contract guys are going to go. Some other guys are going to fall off. They're just going to be replaced. It's added free agents, added rookies. It's like, you know, that one moment in time is just gone, and you had a 17-point lead in the third quarter, and you blew it.
I mean,
you held them to 3 in the opening drive, so a 14-point lead with the ball in the second half, and you blew it.
There's no feeling more sick than this, though.
No.
Not at all, man. No. Not at all.
La la la.
Game 7 in San Antonio. Game 7 in San Antonio sucked. Fuck you was right.
Fuck you.
Pause. I gotta get the pause graphic up.
313-552-6322. Join in on our misery tonight, but also join in on our celebration. Like this, This literally feels like a funeral of a 95-year-old man. Like,
yeah, he's out of it, or the dog that you loved out of its misery.
Like it's like, oh man, it's sad that he's dead, but he lived such a good life. You know, like I can't feel bad. He got 95 years. Like, that's what I feel like. Like, I'm at my grandpa's funeral who made it.
He was sick forever. He's finally out of his misery.
Like, he fought in the war. He became a successful man. He raised a good family. Like, his life, by all accounts, was successful. But it's over.
But we'll miss you, Grandpa.
Like, yeah, just rest in peace.
Grandkids, inheritances, and everything.
Yeah, like the family's set up for the future. He said everybody, like, we got endowments coming. Like, we're all good. Right. We got younger kids. Like, everybody's good. Grandpa did his job, but it's over.
That's the best analogy.
He's so serious.
Look at your face, dude.
It's awful, man. I miss Grandpa. Like, I want him around next week. I want to go watch the Super Bowl with Grandpa, but motherfucker, now we gotta bury him.
Just weeping tears of pride.
Yeah,
you know?
Like we gotta call, dig the fucking hole. Like,
we knew it was coming.
Poor Grandpa.
Yeah.
He's going to a better place. Fuck you, Fade the Channel.
Oh my gosh, I needed that. It helps the pain in my heart just a little bit more.
Grandpa Leo passed this year.
Grandpa Leo.
Yeah, what does the epitaph read?
99, couldn't quite make it to 100. Like just that close.
Everybody was preparing for his 100th birthday
The whole family
party.
sitting around like, what's the epitaph? Somebody said that. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. That's it.
Grandpa was a gambler.
It
did him real well in life.
What's the dead man's hand? Ace 5? I think that's what it is.
You finally came up bust, Uncle Leo.
The family's asking,
Grandpa
what do we do with all
Leo,
these,
Great life.
decorations now, man? What do we do with the 100th birthday card? What do we do with the surprise birthday party?
You bury him with it, man.
Just, we got the memories to live with, and I think that's what's important, guys.
That's a good point.
Oh, shit. That sounds way too much like 1991, man. We got some greatness ahead of us, bro.
I will remember you.
We got more grandparents. We got more grandparents for next year and the year after that.
Family's still strong.
It's a big family,
Family's
baby.
still strong.
Grandma has her eye on next year. Grandma has her eye on somebody else for next season.
Yep.
It's not over. It's not over. Like, this has to hurt right now. You don't make excuses for what happened tonight. You don't. This has to hurt. And it has to hurt for everybody on that team. That, to me, is going to be what makes it different. All of the previous teams, I feel like these types of losses, these types of things happening to them, they had a mentality of same old Lions. They had a mentality where,
agreed.
Well, here we go again. This Lions team,
don't have that.
They on the sideline, they looked hurt. Like, I'm telling you, everybody who's played sports, you know that look of, yo, let's run it back right now. But in this, you just can't. And I know that it's going to change things for the future, man. I just do. But it does hurt right now. Grandpa just couldn't get to 100.
Cinderella, man.
Shout out to Bandino in the chat. He says, talk about Hutchinson's game. Yeah, Hutchinson had a pretty doggone good game, but unfortunately it's overshadowed by a bad second half. The 2 bat down passes.
Did he have a sack?
Huh?
Did he get a sack today?
No, he did not. But
was
but the
all
batting
over,
down of the passes, he helped set the tone for the first half. He did have a pretty solid game, but not a great game.
You know whose name I did not hear all day long?
Which is
Vince Young.
Vince Young.
Wrong guy.
What?
Wrong.
Yeah, no, I would have been shocked if I did hear
defensive
Vince Young
lineman.
say.
You talking about James Houston?
No, the guy that everybody said we had
Chase
to get
Young.
Chase Young.
He had one.
Charlie
He had one tackle for loss, which was a pretty big play. Kool-aid, we got anybody else on the phone?
It's packed. It's jam packed.
All right, come on in. Come on in to the funeral.
Pay your respects.
Pay your respects.
Play your respects. If you have something
Poor
nice
Grandpa.
to say, if you knew Grandpa while he was alive, let us know how you felt.
It's Howard from Cincinnati.
Hey, Howard.
What's up, famo? Hey, I'm hearing y'all. I'm trying to tap in with y'all, but please tell Dan Campbell to lay off the Madden. He has to stop playing Madden. Going on 4th down. This is ridiculous. And then the DBs, man, when I played football and my coach said that y'all DBs couldn't catch crabs at a whorehouse, I surely see what that means now. Like, man, it wasn't just the one guy that dropped the football that hit his face mask, but, man, I mean, I'm from Cincinnati, so I know how it feels. But, man, I chose the Lions to make the NFC East. Chosen to make the Super Bowl. Man.
They just fell short, man.
Tough feeling, man.
Are you from Detroit originally?
And I'll say this. I'll just say this real quick, too, man. Let's say a prayer for the guy that parlayed Michigan to win the national title and for the Lions to make the Super Bowl, man. Let's say a prayer for him. So everybody out there, make sure y'all do single bets, man. Don't try to parlay.
The parlays always get you. They always get you.
Were you one of those guys making that parlay bet?
Nah, I had the single, and I tell you, man. But I have to say this too, man. Next year is gonna be a tough year. Y'all on everybody's radar, and gotta know that the Packers are getting better too.
Yeah.
I gotta remember that too. The Packers are real young.
Imagine how good the Buffalo Bills looked a couple of years ago, and look at what the Bills said. They ain't back.
We're 0-0 now.
Yep.
Hey, Howard, any
I'll let y'all go, man. Y'all, go ahead. What you say?
I was gonna say, do you have any words for Grandpa?
Man, gotta smoke one for Grandpa, man. You gotta light one up after this, man. Can't worry about getting fired the next day. Ain't worried about hope it's gas too. Make sure it's gas. Hey, y'all take it easy.
Shout out to Dispo.
Shout out to Dispo.
Oh man,
nothing yet.
Yeah. Dang. All right, Burn. 4 years ago, if I told you we'd be closer to a Super Bowl in 2024. Than we ever been in franchise history, you do backflips. This is another side of New Money Lions fans. This isn't over.
No doubt.
I agree. It ain't over.
Nope.
It ain't over. But tonight is. This run is. This team is. And that was right there in front of them. Like, if we were talking about a 35-10 victory, like wire-to-wire beatdown of the Lions, would have been like, yeah, they weren't quite there. You know, they just needed to learn to get over the hump. They didn't need to learn a damn thing in this game. They didn't need to learn anything. They needed to not drop the fucking ball. They needed to not fumble the ball. And if they do that, they win the game. That's it. They win the game if they just don't do what they always didn't do. That's what's so frustrating. Right. This isn't how they got here, and that's not how you can get here.
There's one lesson to be learned today.
The fourth down lesson?
Kick the ball.
Kick the ball.
Take the points.
Guys, real quick, here's the schedule for next year.
Yikes.
All right. At Detroit, okay, win on the Bears. Rams win. Packers coin flip. Seahawks win.
Scared.
Vikings win. Tampa Bay win.
Stoke
Another
not
11
scared.
wins.
Stoke not scared.
Yeah, you got a bunch of wins. Okay, Bears coin flip on the road. Win at Arizona. Coin flip at
4
Green
and 2
Bay.
in the division, I think.
Fuck you, San Francisco. Fuck you,
got a repeat
Dallas.
of this season.
Those are big games. So 1, 2. I think
11
4 losses.
wins.
Four
I think
losses.
we'll go 11.
About that. But it's a tough schedule because they proved themselves to be a tough team, so it is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah. At 11 or 12 is certainly within the realm.
Can we talk about something good?
Yeah, whatever you want to talk about, pal.
Jameson Williams.
Wow.
Jameson
Your boy.
Williams.
Jameson Williams, I like it.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Jameson Williams for a second? Like, if this was a preview of what's to come with this young man,
Oh, beautiful.
the future is looking pretty damn scary.
Beautiful.
If we can go to him, 6 to 8 times a game, where he truly becomes that second option and a true wide receiver relief valve for Goff when he can't get to Amon-Ra St. Brown, this team is totally scary.
Yeah,
man.
he was catching the ball, the reverse to start the game, and you just see that breakaway speed.
Yeah.
You just see he's special when he gets in the open field.
Lions are drafting a wide receiver in round 3 or 4, though. Mark my words. This is one of the best classes I have ever seen. And they will absolutely go and get a guy. There's a lot of guys right in that realm, too. Xavier Legette. This guy's the next Deebo Samuel. He'll be around in the 3rd, I think. I could go a long list of people, but Deebo or your boy J-Mo with that catch in the end zone. Now there wasn't one clean catch that he made today. Okay, he bobbled every single one. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. He caught the damn ball.
If he can get it into his hands, he's absolutely electric, man. He's a difference maker.
Nobody in the chat. At least we know J-Mo is clutch and can catch. But that's like saying Grandpa fell on, only broke both hips, and didn't die.
Grandpa Leo.
Poor Grandpa.
Man,
Grandpa,
2 hip replacements.
What a great life, though, Grandpa
I
had.
know.
Like, Grandpa went on the road and defeated the Kansas City Chiefs. Grandpa took out
over Lambeau.
Stafford in the first round of the playoffs.
He kept traveling even though he couldn't travel anymore.
Yeah,
He kept going.
he took that one last trip.
Yeah, exactly. The Winnebago was still gassed up, ready to go, so he just went ahead.
He just drove off into the sunset all the way into the Pacific Ocean.
No.
Right off the Golden Gate Bridge.
I like the way Anson's trying to get rid of Josh Reynolds already, though.
I'll tell you what. This morning I was saying that I thought that J-Mo and Josh Reynolds would be the difference today, just based on how San Francisco defends and where their strengths lie. And
now you're
that's
trying to
not
draft
on the outside.
Reynolds replacement.
And you saw what's that?
I said now you're trying to draft Reynolds replacement.
I would love to see Reynolds come back. I'm not going to sentence Reynolds for one bad game. He still had a great play at the end of the game there, and he's great, but he's not a number 2 receiver, and he was thrust into that kind of trio role that he had with J-Mo as well as Leaf while we still had him. And if we can get somebody that can, honestly, if we can get a true 2, there's a lot of guys I thought were going to be around. I thought Brad Thomas was going to be around in the 3rd, but they're talking about late first now. But there's a lot of guys that can step in and be a number 2 wide receiver. Like I'm telling you, Xavier Legette would be Deebo Samuel on this team, and that's man. When we can ask Josh Reynolds to be the number 4 on this team and step in a game where somebody goes down for a couple quarters, that's when this offense is just crazy deadly, because it's not like we're really losing anybody. I know that we've got a little bit of issue on the offensive line, but Holmes going to fix that.
Man, I really wanted to watch SportsCenter tomorrow and like all the other shows and tune into Woodward and have a good day. Have a good couple weeks.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
Have 2 weeks of just
whole
talking
weeks.
Super Bowl and.
How long until you can turn ESPN on?
I don't know.
And I asked
Fuck,
before
I
we
don't
started this. I'm sure I'll watch it, but like right now, I have no interest in the Super Bowl at all.
I mean, do I really want to watch Grandpa die?
Only Grandpa
Like,
dead.
yeah, I had to watch it in person. Do I really want to go back
Hey, we
and
got
watch
the
the
tape
replay?
of Grandpa
and the
dying. You wanna
highlights,
watch it
the
again?
highlights of it.
Run the tape,
Yeah.
boys. Run the tape.
I got to hear fucking Stephen A. Smith telling me about it.
Don't even get me started on
Hey,
that.
not for real. They did it to themselves.
It's soft. It's soft. Dan Gamble.
No, you know what he's going to do? I told you. Hey, Stephen A.
Kool-aid, who else we got? 313-552-6322 is the phone number. It is the funeral celebration of life. I think it's more of a celebration of life, right?
Yes.
Like, we want to say good things about this team.
Grandpa had a good life.
And if you want to talk about the gruesome death we just witnessed, we can all talk about that too. But why talk about it? Like, we can also talk about parents getting
Grandpa had a
divorced,
great
but we don't
life.
have to.
Exactly.
We don't have to.
But pay your respects to Grandpa Leo.
Yeah, please pay your respects when you are calling in. Kool-aid, who we got?
We have Stan from South Carolina.
What's up, Stan?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How are you, bud?
This is it.
Okay, so I got a couple of things to say. So obviously the result today was a little disappointing. Dan Campbell, going for it on the fourth downs. You can blame him or Josh Reynolds on both of those plays. Either way, but I think the one contract that we have to get done isn't necessarily Goff's. I think it's Penei Sewell's.
Absolutely.
I think you want to get that contract done before the Rashawn Slater or the Christian Darrisaw contracts come through, because if those guys sign contracts first, I think that contract is only going to get even more expensive. And then, obviously Brad Holmes, I mean, you just got to let him cook. As Neil says, you got two gold jackets in Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got the best tight end in the draft. He's going to be the best tight end in the league next year. So, as disappointing as this year may have been, I think next year is going to be the real year. We're going to have some cap space. Maybe some of that cap space goes to re-signing some of our guys, but I really think this team is going to compete for years to come. So that's all I had to say. You guys have a good night, and sucks what happened, but go Lions.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, the cupboard's full.
Yeah.
It's there.
And we've got all kinds of money at the grocery store, to keep filling it up. It's rough. It's really hurts.
Who else we got, Kool-Aid?
Next up, we got Zach from Kalamazoo.
Hey, what up, Kazoo?
Yeah, yo, what up, guys? How you guys doing?
Good, man. How you feeling about the season, and how you feeling about tonight?
Shit, I just got one comment first to lead off to see if maybe I come up with another question, because I was going to make a comment about the resurgence of J-Mo. Like, a lot of people don't realize a coming out party like that for him as a rook, playing only a certain amount of games this year, that's going to be scary next year with Amon-Ra. And that's really good to see. So I was really happy to see him come to his own. But I am curious and want to hear your guys' opinion. I was really disappointed in C.J. Gardner-Johnson today. I feel like a lot of these games, these big games, he makes things way too personal, and it really affects his play style. I don't know if you guys would disagree with me on that, but him and his little rivalry with Debo, I think it got into his head, which then spread to more parts of the defense, because they were usually so good with pursuing the whole season, getting so many hats on the ball, and that just, to me, it wasn't it today.
He made as many distractions for this team as he did big plays. And I don't know if the Lions will be that interested in bringing him back. I got to be honest with you. I think he's made a great point.
I think he did make a great point, but it's another you live by the sword, you die by the sword. When he's talking shit to Baker Mayfield and picks him off on the first series, we're all patting him on the back.
Right. That's a good point.
So, like, I can't be happy when he does that, but then also, like, he, you know, not to go back to the 04 Pistons, but he's sheed, right? He's going to run his mouth. He's going to get these. That's how he. But you can't cross that line. You got to be able to live on that edge. And today he went over the edge. A cheap shot on Debo that wasn't even worth the penalty. If you're going to do that, light this dude the fuck up and hurt his shoulder again or something. Like the little going in there and popping him like that, it really did nobody any good. But
sure.
I don't know. Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes got to make this decision because this time we can call it a distraction because it didn't work, just like going for it on fourth down.
Yeah, I honestly, go ahead.
Like, just the way I look at it is now with going all the way to the NFC title game, which a lot of people had hope for, but we all didn't have the expectation. At least that was me as a fan. It's like, hell yeah, we want to make a Super Bowl. We want to do all these big things. And which we over-accomplished in my eyes for this season. We had a hell of a team, but to get where we were, that's amazing to me. And how we have all the money available and we have the opportunity to deal certain players through this offseason, I think Detroit is now a landing destination.
Absolutely.
For a lot of people that want to come and play real football. Because Dan Campbell, he's going to live and die by having the biggest balls on the planet, and we all know that. And we've all accepted that. It's just now let's keep bringing in bigger pillars like Penei Sewell's, like Kirby Joseph's, like Brian Branch's, to build on the secondary because obviously that was the Achilles heel.
Yeah, it's tough to argue with that. Great call, man. Appreciate you calling in. And, go Lions. And I'm looking forward to the future as well. It's just I think we all can agree that this wasn't supposed to be the year. But it felt like it was the year. Pieces were falling into place. The storyline of vanquishing Matt Stafford in the first round and then taking, another secondary home game after the Dallas debacle where you weren't supposed to get another home game. Like, it was all falling in line. Jared Goff returning to California. Yeah. You're up 17 in the first half. J-Mo on a reverse. Gibbs, just hitting them left and right.
The story was writing itself. And it's like somebody went off script in the middle of the third period. And the whole season, it just took this just hard left. It's inexplainable to me, and it's so disheartening, man. And you can't let it eclipse the entirety of this season, but it hops off of everything that you were feeling, and like you said, when everything aligned and all of these people came together, it just is like, this is it. I mean, we're going to go to the Super Bowl and we're going to beat Pat Mahomes. And I know the exact point that it derailed, but I'm just so shocked. The drive over here at halftime that we're having the conversation that we're having.
Right. First half was so fun. It was so fun.
Crazy.
That was the best time I was ever having in my life,
bro.
Yeah. I got videos of 3 touchdowns at Cicerelli's. The place going absolutely wild. Like there was nothing wrong in the world at that moment. And then all of a sudden these bullies come out of nowhere and start just punching you in the dick. Ugh.
Stole our girl, bro.
Oh, and then videotaped it and then sent it to us.
Yeah.
Like, it was more than...
Man. No, we'll get it in 2 weeks. We get the videotape in 2 weeks.
No, I got to go watch it on SportsCenter. Kool-aid, who else we got on the phones?
We got Freddie 313.
Hey,
right.
Good to hear from Freddie.
He might have a few
Always
words
good.
for Grandpa, too.
Rest in peace, Grandpa.
Hey, appreciate you guys letting me join the group therapy session.
Yeah, welcome,
good to
Freddie.
have you.
Welcome.
Hey, do you mind if I just vent a little bit
Please.
over Grandpa?
Please do.
This is Detroit Lions Anonymous, man. It's all your floor, man.
First off, before I vent, I just want to thank you guys for being the narrators for this season and a magical ride that just ended so poorly, but I really appreciate all the hard work. Kool-aid, the KG,
the guys, the booth boys, everybody, like behind the scenes people, not just people on the desk, but also the people on the desk too. First and foremost, I just want to thank you guys for what you guys do and for, you know, being around for the ride. You guys are so awesome. So having said that, yeah, I appreciate you guys. So having said that, I told my wife this. I feel like I walked in on her fucking somebody, and then that guy got up and punched me in the stomach. And then no, I'm not done. I'm not done. And then I had to raise their kids, and they call him dad and not me. That's the sports equivalent of what this feels like right now.
And Grandpa.
You know, and Grandpa passed away.
Right? We're not leaving.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I gotta. But you know, all the silly stuff out. This was the most historically upsetting Detroit sports loss in my lifetime. I'm 40 years old. This is worse than the Chris Webber timeout. This is worse than the trouble with the snap game with Sparty winning. This is worse than Michigan choking at TCU. This is worse than getting swept by the Devils. This, it's just a complete collapse of historical proportion. And it was the best half of football I've ever seen in my life, and then the worst half of football. And that's the problem right now, is just having to swallow this and sit in this. Moving on from that and moving on from how upsetting this is, the things we got to look at here for all these SOL fans, Jared Goff had 0 turnovers. The guy that people lost their mind over, that we can't Hooker and we can't re-sign him, 0 turnovers. Lions only trailed for 1 quarter this entire playoff, and it just so happened to be the 4th of the NFC Championship. I don't want to hear anybody putting this on Coach Campbell. We had a 4th down drop by Reynolds. We had the Vildor dropped interception. We had the 3rd down drop by Reynolds. We had the fumble by Gibbs. I don't want to hear this talk about Campbell. I don't want to hear any bad talk about Goff. That is our quarterback of the future. That is our coach of the future. And both of those men will lead us to a Super Bowl. It might not be this year, but those 2 men are leading us to the promised land, and we will hoist that Vince Lombardi trophy in the air. And we'll remember how we felt. No one will forget how awful this feels, but on the other end of the spectrum, we will never forget how great it's going to feel when we redo everything and run this back. This is a young group of Lions. These are not even adult Lions yet. Young. We're still babies. Super young. The window is there. This window is not closed. That sorry franchise of whiny, spoiled brats gets to have their Super Bowl that I will not watch. I will not watch the Super Bowl. And it is what it is. But for future Super Bowls, we're in this. We are going to the Super Bowl, and we are winning a Super Bowl. This is not the end of the road for us. This is going to sting so bad for not just the draft. We're going to get to the draft, and leading up, it's draft talk. Here we go. And then we're going to get to training camp, and then we're going to get to kickoff, and we got to wait 17 weeks to get back here and try to do this again. It's a long time, but we got to take it in stride, and we are the brand new Lions. Do not let this one exactly. Do not let one half of football dictate the identity of this franchise. We wiped away the funk of 60 years, 30 years. We've done things that I've never seen in my lifetime. We're not finished. We're going to do more stuff that we haven't seen in our lifetime, and that's going to the Super Bowl and winning it. That's all I have. I love you, Detroit. I love you guys. I appreciate you.
Freddie. Great fucking call, Freddie.
He can electroshock Grandpa back to life.
Yeah,
Freddie, I believe that those kids will call you daddy one day.
Yeah.
Love you guys, man. Appreciate you.
Man,
Thanks.
You know what?
The great Pete Spivak.
Oh, yeah. Please.
Go ahead. Oh, just Go ahead.
Well, I got a question because he brought up something that touched a chord with me. Is this your worst Michigan fan loss? Fan of all Michigan sports. Like, is this the hardest one for you? Because I will tell you, this ranks second for me. Well, no, it's probably down there about number 3 or 4 behind some Pistons ones. You know, the Bird steals the balls. Probably number 2. Only to 05. I was at Game 7 in San Antonio, and that was brutal. We were up 7 with 9 minutes left because we were a little bit closer, you know. But this one, I mean, it doesn't hurt as much because I know there's more. There's more to come. And I think that's what helped me get over the whole Bird steals the ball, because I knew there was more to come. There was more when the phantom foul on Bill Laimbeer, and then 50 Lakers fans on the court while there's still 3 seconds left in the game, and Zeke gets hammered to the ground while shooting. But there's more to come. Like I knew with those teams. I think we all know it with this one, and as hard and as shitty of a pill they gave us to swallow and finish this season, night, go to sleep on this. We all know what's happening when we wake up, because this team's for real, and the window's not just here, it's big.
There's a Game 7 Red Wings game.
Yeah.
Against the Penguins.
That's what I was going to bring up. That and also 96 against Colorado. You knew there was more to come, but that was heartbreaking.
And Sidney Crosby.
That was a tough loss.
I hate hockey.
It just felt like you were there.
I hate hockey because of that night, man.
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest hockey guy, but I was downtown Detroit, inside the Fox Theater watching it with a ton of people, and it was
for the fact
it was electric. It was at the Joe. You thought they were going to pour out of the Joe after a Game 7 clog Woodward.
Wasn't that like overtime or something like super?
No, they won, but they scored with like the last minute and a half and a third.
It was just a heartbreaker. You know?
That was a tough one. But no, I mean, football's my favorite sport. So this
2005 Pistons.
2005.
Yeah,
real talk.
Big shot, Bob.
Real talk.
Yeah, Robert
that
Horry.
That one hurt me. I cried at that one.
Well, and if you think
and
about
that's what sucks is this isn't an Horry moment, right?
Right.
Like this isn't like somebody made a play for San Francisco. It's the Lions fucked up.
Yep.
Like
well, but you know what?
There's no one to point to that was like,
because Rasheed fucked up.
Rasheed fucked up, but Horry still had to make the shot. None of these guys had to make a shot.
It's like Vildor fucked up, and Ayuk had to bring it down. You know what I'm saying?
That was just that was an act of God.
Yeah. My thing with that series though
was
we had an
ball
opportunity.
Off the face mask bouncing perfectly into your hands.
Oblong ball.
But San Antonio's got 5.
I love the way you said that. That's all good.
Because that increases the odds of the unlikelihood.
Yes. I just love the way you said that. Was good.
Yeah, if it was a round ball, we could kind of predict where it's going to bounce. But an oblong ball off a round face mask just happens to bounce in this motherfucker's hands.
Yep.
That's an act of God.
Right in the basket.
And that kills the momentum. And then Jahmyr Gibbs not fully having the handoff.
What did you say? An act of God?
An act of God. That's what you can go back, check the tape this week. I said this game's going to be decided by an act of God.
I agree with you.
It's going to take a weird tip. It's going to take something. What's weirder than a ball off the face mask while the guy's already bobbled it and then he catches it again? The only thing weirder was Lamar Jackson catching his own pass.
And now Grandpa Leo sits at the foot of God, asking him why. Why?
Yeah, he didn't have to swerve out of that lane. What do we got going on, Kool-Aid?
Phone lines are still packed, man, with people trying to give their condolences to Grandpa. But we got Tabitha from Rockford.
What's going on, Tabitha?
Hi, guys.
How are you?
I'm devastated.
Same.
I was trying to be upbeat. I was going to point out that Jared Goff played 3 games in the playoffs with no turnovers. But then that other guy said it, so that was my upbeat thing that I had. So I'm just devastated. 90 years in the making, I thought this was our year. I'm the fan every year that says we're going to the Super Bowl. Every single year I've been saying it since I was 5. I really thought this was our year, man. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I can watch the Super Bowl. I hate San Fran.
Same.
Why'd it have to be San Fran? Again, why?
The
pain is real.
They just dropped the ball, literally.
I don't know. Like what? It's like the game. Okay, the first half, that's the Lions we saw all season, and then the second half, I don't know who that was.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened. Reynolds dropped it, and Amon-Ra dropped it, and before the drop, I get it.
I think they're filming another Space Jam. I feel like Space Jam just happened to the Lions. Aliens came down at halftime, stole everybody's talent to go play
their AI.
Yeah,
like their AI. It's like the team went in and they came back out AI. I don't know. I don't know what team that was in the second half. We had it the whole time. It was written in the stars. It was destiny. But I'll be back next year, just like I have every year since I was 5, the last 32 years. Me and my dad watched it together, my family, my whole family, my fiance, my kids, my 74-year-old uncle. I just wanted one for my grandpa. I wanted that guy. It was his birthday today, the one with the season tickets for 66 years. I wanted to win for it. Crackman. Crackman's birthday. Damn. All right. I just wanted to say I'll be back next year. I stand by what I said the first time I talked to you. Jared Goff is elite. Amon-Ra is elite. Aiden and Anzalone. Next year, it's next year, I guess.
All right. Thank you, Tabitha. We appreciate you.
All right. Go Lions.
Go Lions. That's just
Lions,
that's the consensus, man. Everybody's appreciative for what the season was, but you're fucking so irate for what just happened.
Yeah.
I
think it would have been easier on people if we would have lost to Dallas in the second round, but this is what we wanted. This was kind of like the lofty goal. I mean, that was the crazy pie in the sky dream of winning a Super Bowl or even making one, but this was where my litmus test was. I was like, can this team win some playoff games? Can they win the division? And they did, man. This is a successful year. It's just, man, it's an awful way. I would have rather been down 7 to 10 points all game, fought and just lost by 3 in the end, than have it go this way.
Then they gift them a win.
Man,
Pete, you got anything? Nothing yet. Dan Campbell don't even want to fucking talk about this game.
I saw some quotes.
Niners, but we're not going to play that crap.
Yeah.
Well, as hard as this is for us, it must be so hard for them because this wasn't just a run. This was a really special movement this year. And, man, they probably don't even want to – they don't want to face themselves. They don't want to face that scoreboard. But they don't want to face us. And they should know, man, we love you guys. You guys did us proud. It sucks the way things happen. But like you said, it's an oblong ball, and it's a game of football, and shit bounces weird sometimes.
Yeah. Free agents going in the next season for the Lions. All right? Rank them. Jonah Jackson.
Can he stay healthy?
All right. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Can he not distract?
But do you want to keep him?
No.
Okay. Graham Glasgow.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Charles Harris.
No.
Romeo Okwara.
Depends on how much.
Josh Reynolds.
I would like to bring him back. I think somebody will throw some money at him. We'll see. I think he'll probably not be very good anywhere else he goes.
DPJ.
No.
Dan Skipper. You got to bring back Skipper.
I like Skip.
The guy's a fucking monster.
Yeah, I like Skip.
Dude, he's 6'9".
And he's versatile. I like him.
Jalen Reeves-Maben.
Yeah, you can't let go of that guy.
You got to bring that guy back, right?
Special teams dynamo.
Vildor.
No, you got to replace him.
Will Harris.
No, you got to replace him.
Vaitai. There's a lot on that line.
You got to replace him, too.
Manuel Mosley.
Replace. I mean, is he even going to play healthy ever again?
I don't know. Matt Nelson, doesn't matter. Jake McQuaid, don't matter. Teddy Bridgewater, he retiring, so that don't matter. Michael Badgley.
No.
Poor money.
No, I mean, the interesting thing about this.
But here's the thing. We can't even blame Badgley. He didn't miss. They just didn't give him the opportunity.
Well, but Badgley's a decent journeyman kicker. I mean, he hasn't held down a job for about 3 years now. I think the last time he was a consistent kicker was with San Diego, when they were still in San Diego. The Lions need to address it, and I mean address it. They need to get a premier kicker, a Matt Prater type of guy that can come in here and you can just rely on him.
Why can't it just align with kickers and good teams? Like it just can't do it. Like we'll have Jason Hansen and Matt Prater on shit teams, and we'll have good teams and no kicker to be
with
found.
terrible feet.
She got hammer time in her toes.
Got to coordinate.
Yeah. Let's see. Where was it? I saw Terry Rogers. What happened to the "We aren't scared of the 49ers" guy? I honestly don't think anybody's scared of the 49ers.
I'm still not.
Nobody is.
No, we were the better team on the field today. It's been said. You know? I mean,
it wasn't scared.
Our inexperience allowed ourselves to be in a position to make the mistakes we made. Period. Whether it was through calling the wrong play at the wrong time or throwing it to the wrong guy who couldn't make the play at that right time, and so it was the wrong time. These guys just weren't. I just don't think they were experienced enough, and there's nothing wrong with that. Fact is, this team didn't bow out after one round. This team got 3 rounds of experience for a team that I would say of our 12 best players, 8, 9 of them are in their first 2 or 3 years of their deals. I mean, it's invaluable, this experience that this team gained.
Yep, you just don't want to pile up these losses because then you start becoming the guys that can't get. You start becoming the 49ers.
You're fucking SOL.
You become the 49ers. Just can't get there. Can't get over the hump. Can't do it. So
we can't be the next Bills. We'll see what the 49ers do, but we gotta seal the deal.
Yeah, Kool-aid. Who else we got on the phones?
Let's see where we're going next. We're gonna do Ian from Arkansas.
Ian from Arkansas. What's up, Ian from Arkansas?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
What's good, man?
So I am in Arkansas right now, but I am originally born in Pontiac. So I was born from Michigan. My dad worked for General Motors. You know that blue collar. You know.
Oh yeah.
So, but hey, you guys have been down for so long on this. Come on, let's. Grandpa has gone to heaven. He's met God. God's going to say, well done, my good and faithful servant. He's going to give him all the riches of heaven. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the NFC Championship next year. We're doing it. It's happening. And I want to say that I'm so proud of the Lions right now. Like, I mean, even though we lost devastatingly, before Stick gets on to me after this rant, I want to just say that I'm so proud that we even made it to this point. But for real, what the fuck was that second half? Come on. That was ridiculous. And I know you've been saying live by the sword, die by the sword, but this isn't a regular season game. Like, for Dan Campbell to call that not field goal, I think you just kicked the field goal. I didn't feel good about it. I didn't like it at any point. And then it wasn't even close, too. Like, that was almost intercepted. Like, if it was close, maybe I'd feel a little bit better, but that wasn't even close. And also, Josh Reynolds, that's also another act of God because he has been so good. He's been that Mr. Reliable this season.
He really has.
And he just had bricks for hands today. Like he's only 2 other times. I want to do my best Biggins impression here, but only 2 times has he caught under 50%. This year, other than the 3 games that he missed. Like, that's ridiculous. For the 2 other times, one of them was the Vikings and someone else. But anyway, and now we're and also, you want to talk about bad graphics? The one that pissed me off was the one that they showed the last time that we went to the playoffs and played the 49ers. We were up the exact same score. No, they were up the exact same score, 24-7. And then we won by a field goal.
Yeah, that was 1957.
And now it's just a flip-flop.
It was 1957.
Yeah.
I saw that stuff this morning, or earlier today, too. And then there's a loss in the early 80s, man. I mean, it's 1957. Saturday.
Yeah, and that's what you don't want to fall into. We don't want to go back in this trap, and we don't want to go back in the trap. We don't want that 30-year desperation to get back to it, to get that playoff win because of some stupid bounce that can go anyway at any time, any given Sunday. The next up quarterback becomes a sensation. You think the Jaguars thought they weren't going to advance further this year than they did last year?
So scary.
That's what scares me about the NFL. Nothing's promised.
Yeah.
Nothing is promised. Yeah. So do I believe we got the young talent? Of course I do. It's on paper and it's on film. It's there. Yeah. But
I think we have
things
to bring
can
back,
happen.
The three rocks have to come back. They have to lock up Goff, Amon-Ra, and Penei Sewell. I mean, to sign one and not the other two, I mean, I get it. I'm sure Goff can make a lot of guys look good, but Amon-Ra is arguably, I mean, you could put him up there with every single other receiver in this league. I know he's maybe not be as dynamic as Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, but there's nobody I would rather have on my team on third down than that guy. And then you look at Penei Sewell, I mean, he's the best tackle in the NFL, and he's how old? 23, you were saying, Kool-aid? We were just shocked over how young the guy is. And then you got Goff, who's pulling all the strings on this team, and to switch to Hooker or anything else like that, I think it would absolutely destroy what we have going. Those three, I think it's not just about signing Penei. I think it's about signing all three.
The estimated salary cap for next season is going to be, it's $244 million this season, so it should be just a tad north of that. The Lions will have $61 million and change in cap space.
That's top five, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're top five in cap space.
Yeah, top five.
And we got some situations in there that we can get away from, like Tracy, that'll open up some more money. But I think that they've set it up really, really well, where they have these guys under the books for a lot of years because they're rookies or second-year players, to the point where they can really give substantial extensions to the big three and still hit the free agent market and be effective. Because we are a free agent destination. People want to be a part of this shit.
Poor Grandpa.
Fuck, I'm gonna miss him so much.
I know.
Like, I used to sit over there and watch Grandpa. We had happy moments and memories.
There's Grandpa.
He was there. He used to sit in that chair with us, and we had so many good times watching the Lions with Grandpa.
Everybody, Maz is fine, okay? Just so you guys know, okay? Maz is fine. How are you, Maz?
Man.
We missed you, pal.
Kool-aid, we got any more calls? Let's take a couple more calls.
All right, man. Let me get Justin from Lansing on.
Justin from Lansing. What's going on in Lansing, Justin?
Hey, fellas. I've had so much fun listening to you guys all year. Thank you so much
for
being great guys.
Appreciate it.
I'm 38. I've been a fan since I was born, basically. But I wanted to pose a hypothetical, and this name has come up a little bit over the past few minutes, is Badgley, right? If he goes for the kick instead of going for it on fourth down, hypothetically, what do you think his percentage of was making that 47-yarder?
Well, he had two that he could have kicked. That's my thing. I think he makes at least one, and then it's a whole different ballgame.
I mean, Badgley hadn't shown me what he hit at like a 52-yarder last week.
Yep.
Now I know it was indoors, but those elements didn't seem to be too wild out there in San Francisco today. So, I mean, the guys, I'd put it at 70%.
Yeah, kick them both, make one.
That's why it was so frustrating. It's like, no, man, like you could have pushed it back up to a 3-score lead. That helps your team relax. And then if they score again, you still have a 2-score lead. Like it, instead of just, oh shit, now they're a touchdown away. Oh shit, we made another mistake. Now it's tied. What the fuck is going on? Now you're running around, you're getting out of character. You stop running the football, which you did at a historic level. And granted, San Francisco made their adjustments, but you make your adjustments right back. It was I'll never understand what I just witnessed tonight.
Yeah.
I'll never understand it. That's a historic collapse.
It really is. I mean, it's going to sting for the rest of our lives, this one. It really will. We got any more calls?
Yeah, we do. Let me see here.
It still stings.
Still no sound, by the
It's
way,
gonna stink
boys. The
forever.
Lions are, as the New York Post
Mum's
says in
the
their
word, huh?
headlines, Lions sleep tonight. Right now, they're sleeping on the postgame sound.
I love that song. How are you going to take a song by the Tokens and do that to us? That song's a banger.
Look, we got
Banger. Absolute banger. Lion sleeps tonight. Don't fuck with me.
Poor Grandpa sleeps tonight.
That was Grandpa's song in 1937.
We got Rod in Cincinnati, but he's from Detroit.
What's up, Rod?
What up, though, man? Hey, first off, hey, fuck everybody who's putting SOL in the chat while the score was tied. Yo, fuck you, bitch.
Anson.
Fuck you, every single one. Fuck you.
I'm not even in the chat.
Number two, why is not SOL is because one man, Brad Holmes. We have fucking Brad Holmes. If it was Matt
Brad
Miller
we
running
trust.
shit, okay. If it was Matt Patricia coaching, okay. This is not the same fucking shit, so shut the fuck up, all you motherfuckers. Y'all some hoe-ass motherfuckers. Fuck you. I was so fucking pissed. Y'all some hoe-ass bitches. Every single one.
Thank you.
Bitch. I can't even stand that shit. I can't even stand that shit.
Grandpa,
y'all fucking dick. Hey, listen, same people dick riding Dan Campbell all fucking year. Soon shit fucking turn a little bit. You want to cry like a little bitch. It doesn't matter. Fucking, it wasn't that big. I mean, it was 17 points. Not that they was like the fucking Jags last year. It was a 28 or some shit. 17. That's not a fucking insurmountable fucking shit. Like, shut the fuck up and relax. We got fucking Dan Campbell. We got fucking Brad Holmes. Jared Goff, okay. But man, fuck everybody.
Yo, this is my anger
No, Jared Goff,
translator
hey man,
right
we gonna bring Jared Goff back. He played okay. I mean, he missed that ball to give. That was a big miss. But hey, we had a great season. And hey, anybody at the beginning of the fucking year, you would say, "Oh, we're gonna be tied in the NFC Championship game, going to the fourth quarter."
Thank you.
Everybody would have took that shit.
Still
you
would.
have took that
No
shit.
doubt.
So stop fucking crying like a little bitch. Yeah, I'm talking to you, motherfucker. Stop crying like a bitch.
You hear
All
that,
you motherfuckers
chat?
crying like a bitch. Soon shit fucking went fucking left. Shut the fuck up.
I got my own bones to pick with the chat. I feel you on this one.
That's an unbelievable call from
That was the
Cincinnati.
best call. No doubt.
That was.
Grandpa would be proud of that phone.
No
dude,
doubt.
Grandpa would love to have a beer with that.
Man,
By
that
the
is
way,
beautiful.
here, Jared Goff's final playoff stats. 77 of 111 for just under 70%. 4
Wow.
TDs, no interception, QB
Wow.
rating of 103.3.
Wow. And how many rushing touchdowns did this whole team have? Because he didn't have to throw for touchdowns.
3
The guy
today.
moved the rock. He didn't make mistakes. And he was accurate as hell. 70% nearly?
Yep.
I mean, that's our quarterback.
103.3
That's our quarterback.
rating. You'll take that all day.
Absolutely.
Still couldn't get
Grandpa
the
died
W
a
though.
winner.
Yep, still couldn't get the W though. That's
true.
That's the thing. Like the Jared Goff truthers are gonna come out of the woodwork.
Oh, God,
and,
Lord Jesus.
Grandpa's service
Hendon
record was
Hooker now
impeccable.
is back on the table. Oh, don't pay this guy. And honestly, you don't have to pay Goff this offseason. You got him through next year.
Yep. 31.6 million, I believe he's owed.
You don't have to pay him this offseason.
Yep.
You can play him next year, and then franchise him if you want. Like there's a lot
Rodgers
of
love
options,
his ass?
huh?
Rodgers and love his ass?
I mean,
same deal that happened to
you don't
Favre
know.
and-
He may give us the hometown discount, even though we're not the hometown. But where else is he going to go that people will be chanting Jared Goff at fucking gymnastic tournaments?
That's a really good point.
Did you see
man.
that video? like girls gymnastics
No,
in the
you're
middle of Michigan. Like, where is Jared Goff going to get that except Detroit? That shit you can't buy with an extra $10 million.
That's the best point I've heard on him taking a hometown discount out of any point that's ever been made, dude. Because, I mean, that's ride the lightning, bro. You going to leave that feeling?
Yeah, you're going to go to Carolina and they're going to, like, who the fuck is Jared Goff? Like,
Who
no.
the hell's this
Man.
guy?
Yeah.
That's a great point, Stick.
Yeah, so, but if they make that switch, what does that tell you? Like,
It means
I
they
just
got
hate
something.
that now we got to have these fucking conversations.
If they
I
make
don't
the
want to
s-
have these conversations.
If they make the switch, it means they got something. But I'll tell you, you got something there. If he offers a hometown discount, you sign him this year. But if not, and he's going to press you, prove it, you know. And then you really want to walk, go to Carolina and see if they chant your name. You know, I've been a purist when it comes to re-sign Jared Goff since prior to the season started. And you just made a whole lot of sense right there, pal.
Look, if he wants a Super Bowl today, this game today is the game to me that tells Jared Goff, and when he's kind of just thinking to himself, I need to take the pay. I need to give him the discount. We need more on this team. We need more in the secondary.
Amen.
We need more amongst the receiving core. We need a little bit more depth.
Amen.
Even though that offensive line was good, it was great, we still need depth on that offensive line. There's holes on this team that we know Brad Holmes has just enough to go out there and plug, but the rest of it, to make this team that surefire team, if Jared Goff wants that surety that Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, the San Francisco 49ers, and those teams have every year, he's going to have to do this hometown discount if he cares about playing in big games like he did today and have an opportunity to get through.
And, that should be the kind of the future prescription or formula to winning in the NFL. I mean, if you've got guys that are going to dominate your payroll, you're most likely going to lose. And that's how it's always been, especially lately since things have gotten so observant and out of control. So you look at the guys that won the most, and it's the Patriots, and that's exactly what they did. So there's no team in the NFL right now that seems as cohesive and ready to play that kind of ball when it comes to the financials than the Lions right now.
Welcome to the Lions post-game show here on Woodward Sports. It's
somber hour.
We're remembering the season that was and what could have been of a life well lived.
Grandpa Leo.
This season went further than we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And very proud of this season, but at the end just made some horrible mistakes and got hooked on that meth. And next thing you know, you're stripping your copper piping and you're living in your basement with no teeth. And,
But why couldn't he just make it to birthday 100? It was only 2 weeks away. 2 weeks.
I love Sticks analogies, man.
Oh, man.
It was the copper sale, too, that got him.
Man. What could have been, guys? What could have been?
Could have been, baby. If I read this free agent list of kickers for you, they're going to have to draft a kicker. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Go get a kicker.
Read us the list of college kickers.
Yeah, the free agents coming out. Let me get that up for you. I'll be a second.
I'd love to hear that.
Well, poor Stick figures out if we should take another caller or not.
We can take another caller.
Yeah,
I'm just reading the chat. Like, some of it's funny. Some people are being dickheads. Like, I don't know.
What was the guy from Cincinnati's name that laid down the law, laid the wood?
Ron.
I
remember that, yeah.
Oh, man. Can we get a plaque for him in the back?
Yeah, we need that, man.
We've had some great callers tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And we've had some great callers all season. And, people have thanked us for being a part of this. But honestly, like, we got to return the favor. Like, thank you guys for letting us do this.
No doubt.
Not to be a humble brag, but this is the most watched show on Woodward Sports, and it's not because we're on here. It's because it's after the Lions games, and you guys are just so insatiable and want some more coverage. But it's also Anson and I have done every single Lions post game for the past 3 years for this network.
3.5.
So we've sat there through the bullshit with you guys. Like, we've been a part of it. This year was special. It was fun to be in this room a lot of times. I mean, we won a lot more than we lost this year, fellas. But, only one team gets to have a happy ending. And unfortunately, this isn't an 8-mile strip club where you just got to tip a little extra. And next thing you know, we're working.
But you know what?
Extras.
Every year since you guys have started this Detroit Lions team has only gotten better the next season.
Amen.
Only gotten better. We've seen them make the moves to get better. Nothing fluky. Nothing that just kind of, bounced off of a helmet and catch. It wasn't that. It was their hard work. It was their execution. That's what I absolutely love. So you guys are definitely doing the post game next year, right?
Oh, yeah.
Keep the mojo going, man. Let's get this improvement.
I would like to go to a game though. As much as I love being in the studio, it'd be fun to go to a playoff game or two. But there's
Sheila,
no place.
Set us up in a suite. We'll call it from there.
Yeah, there's no place I'd rather be though than honestly right here with the fellas. It's a fun thing, and talking to people like when the Lions won their first playoff game in 30 years, we're getting calls from Saudi Arabia.
What about the Lebanon call from 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, Lebanon, Oklahoma.
And Brisbane, Australia?
We get, just down the street in Birmingham, Royal Oak. Like, it's cool that there's so many Lions fans. And this was the first year, like, Lions fans really got to be on display.
Yeah.
Right? We've all just been
nationally
hibernating, like, hoping one day we can crawl out of the doldrums and, like, actually root for our fans. And, like, we were able to come out of the closet this year to the whole country. And we were taking over stadiums, you never saw that ever. And even in these playoffs, they said, like, the San Francisco tickets, that it was impossible to get anyone in the last round, any tickets there. But the Lions had like a 20% ticket share of what was inside Levi Field today. So, I mean, it's just been a really fun ride this season. You hate to see it come to an end, especially when you have a 17-point lead. But damn, the chat's been fun. The call's been great.
Honestly, because I don't think I ever expected a championship this year from this outset, even though I kind of fooled myself over this last week. Having all of that is, I don't know, man. I'm struggling with the two. The two are smacking each other in the face so much, but I think the fact that it wasn't expected, you can leave feeling really great about how far they got, man.
Yeah.
You should.
Kool-aid?
Yes, sir.
You've had an interesting Lions season, from doing post games downtown with the Bullseye event group and how wild those parties were, to coming through here. Like, your perspective of this year has got to be pretty wild.
It's been awesome. I mean, especially starting off the year covering Pistons and everything and how that season's gone. I've thoroughly enjoyed being a part of the Lions coverage team, interacting with Lions fans, and seeing how the fan base at large, at least the ones that are out there, that are actually on the scene, there's no aspect of SOL anywhere. All of them are bought in. All of them know that this is real. And it's been fantastic to be a part of, man, to be in the city, to be, like I said, around all of these great fans. It's been an awesome time, man. And to see this team do something that I know is foundational and not something that's just kind of built on sand, which would just wash away when the tides rise. No, I feel like the tides are rising. And when they settle back down, we're still going to see this foundation there, and Brad Holmes will be able to build on top of it. But this season has been awesome. Being a part of this show has been awesome as well. Like I said, when I first got to Woodward Sports, I remember I was like kind of shadowing you guys, and when you guys would do these at some of the restaurants.
Brass Rail.
Yeah. I remember that. And it was kind of epic to see. And I was like, yo, the dedication, like, they're really doing this. It gives me hope for what I'm doing right now with the Pistons. It gives me hope.
Oh, we're going to get there, bro.
You guys,
Pistons will get there.
Your passion, your not just for Woodward Sports, your passion for the Lions, your passion for delivering this for Detroit fans, man. That, to me, spoke volumes, man. It just does. Because I don't know if a lot of people understand. You see the desks, you see the screens now behind them. I remember when they were going, setting up everything, getting ready, testing everything by themselves, breaking down everything at
on
the end
Stick's
of it,
couch,
packing it up, and then driving home. And I'm sitting here like, yo, you guys are really out here doing this. And ultimately, it was for the people of Detroit, man. And it's an awesome thing to be a part of. I'm grateful for this Lions season. I'm grateful to be a part of coverage in any way, and I'm grateful to have had this season with you guys, man. Straight up.
Appreciate you too, Kool-Aid. Thank you so much.
That's where I was kind of going. I kind of got caught up, man. This season has been so much fun, and I think that's why the Lions aren't talking right now, man, because there's failure, and then there's this season coming to an end.
Yeah.
And this isn't a failure season, even though they failed to win this game. I don't want to not see you guys next week. I thought I was going to see you guys. I was going to try and talk you guys into coming in for a Pro Bowl edition, And I'm really bummed that it comes to an end. I've loved every single year of this. I've loved starting it out on your couch and not being able to win a damn game.
Yeah, those were bad
watching
days.
us progress.
Bad days.
Yeah, and watching all of these awesome
days.
guys come in and make this show into what it's been, and all of the guys that follow it. I mean, we had something crazy like 25,000 people watching last week or something. And to have this stop, I think is the hardest part for everybody in Detroit right now, because it's just been such a glorious ride, and we were so damn thirsty for it, and we were just showering in this shit. and now it's run dry, just like the Lions offense in the second half. And I think that's just the hardest part for me, because this team isn't going anywhere. They're going to be great next year, but can we just run it back, Brandon?
Yeah, I just want to play catch with Grandpa one more time. Just catch. Just one more game. Just one more game, Grandpa.
The draft is in Detroit, Michigan this year, and they're not drafting for their next star. They're drafting for who's going to complement the stars they already got on this squad.
Yeah.
We're in a different place, Steve.
Yeah.
We're in a different place.
I just don't want to even fucking talk draft. Like, I'm so used to talking draft this time of year, right? Now it's like, now we gotta talk draft.
He's right though, B.
This is like
He's
a
right.
month. This is a month and a half.
I know I get it.
We should have been
but
talking about it 2
still,
months ago.
normally
3
it's
months
like,
ago.
we're gonna take with the top 10 pick this year, you know?
But
like,
we're picking 29 though, bro.
Even better.
29.
Like, God damn it.
We're not talking about who's going to step into this team and possibly help us win 5 games. We're talking about who are we
put
picking
us over the top
to put us over the top. And that's why I keep saying this is way different to me now, man. This is completely different territory. And sometimes I don't think we know how to even take that. This is a different team.
You know, our
Different
buddy, the draft heckler, I have fought with him all year, from the offseason, preseason to throughout the season this year. I didn't see this team in a position where they should have thrown money around in the free agent market, and they didn't. This team had vast amount of questions on the roster on both sides of the ball. And they actually were able to answer so many of them this year, not only through the draft, but just in guys coming up. I mean, Melifonwu was looking awesome. But being able to do that, it really gave them a much clearer picture of what they're going into this year, where they're truly in a position to take that Super Bowl winning step. And now you're not grasping at a few dollars to try and spread across some guys because you made the wrong decisions on some players that probably wouldn't have taken us over the top this year. The Lions are really, really wonderfully situated, and it's about the only thing that puts a little sugar into this salty pill, you know?
Yep.
Jagged little pill.
They're wonderfully situated in the third quarter, up 17 fucking points against the San Francisco 49ers.
It's like 10,000 spoons, bro.
Yeah, that sucks.
Couldn't come against a worse city. Like, I hate San Francisco and all they stand for. Who else we got?
We got Jack from Denver.
Sorry. What do you want to do? Let's take calls. Like we've said it all. They dropped the fucking ball. They lost the fucking game. It's over by 17 fucking points. They got smacked in the face. Dan Campbell went for it on 4th down. Josh Reynolds couldn't catch a goddamn ball. Laporta drops one. J-Mo can't catch one over his shoulder. Gibbs fumbles. But it's not like I'm sitting here talking about Christian McCaffrey made a crazy play. No, those guys did shit.
Well, Debo is really the only guy that left his mark on us. But I'll tell you, Brock Purdy was so good at evading the pressure. We should have gotten home an extra 5 times in this game. And I'll tell you,
kick the fucking field goal. Sorry.
You ain't wrong.
He's been consistent on that.
You ain't wrong. No, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Fuck you.
It's literally like,
fuck you.
It's a fight, right? You're in a fucking fight. And when you're up 3 scores, you're damn near choking out your opponent. But then you just, all right, we're only up 2.
I'm sorry.
Then you just pull off with one hand. Then next thing thing you know, this guy punches you back in the face and you're on the ground. It's like, what the fuck's going on?
Dude, I let you out.
I've been
Why
in
are you
those
hitting
fights.
me?
I've lost those fights that I was winning. Like, literally. And that's what happened. They were winning the fight. They were beating the shit out of their opponent.
They done got their shirt pulled over their head.
They were curb stomping them, bite the curb, American History X shit.
I got you.
And they got that shirt pulled over their head, man.
And then all of a sudden, they just they backed off. And it was all Friday. Then Craig just started beating Debo's ass. That's the Lions got fucking Debo today.
Period, didn't they?
That's what. There's the official analogy I'm gonna use. Not the dead grandpa. Lions got Debo today.
Yeah.
They came in, and then there's a Debo Samuel pun. I don't mean that shit.
Yeah.
But the Lions came in. They were winning that fight. Well, then they Craig get off the ground with a fucking brick. brick and hit him over the face, and then the fight's over. Like, Debo didn't know what the hell was going on.
I can't believe you chose that analogy out of all of them. Damn, Debo.
Poor Craig.
Craig,
come on, Craig.
My bike,
come on,
punk.
Craig. Come on, Craig.
We got Jack from Denver.
Jack from Denver. How's it going?
I had some real fucking negativity coming into this call, man. Some real rage, dude.
Bring it.
Hearing that little monologue, you guys talking about the season, I can't do it in good faith. It was such a good season, bro. SOL is fucking dead. There's no doubt in my mind that SOL is fucking dead. Ben Johnson or not, brand new fucking Lions are here to. Dude, I have no doubt. Like, I had all the shit I was gonna say. I was like, dude, it like, kick the fucking field goal. It's coming out a little bit. Kick the fucking field goal, bro. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm on my couch, and I just get this sick feeling that he's going to do it. This sick feeling. And I'm like, all right, he's going to do it. Better go to Amon-Ra. And he goes out there, and Goff backpedals, and it's like, dude, it's happening, and it happened, and it crushed me. But brand new Lions, no doubt at all.
Stick, and I thought he wasn't going to kick at the end of the first half.
Yeah, no, everybody thought he was going to go for that.
Yeah, no, when that happened, I was sure.
Oh, I was terrified. Then you see the kicker on the screen.
We were like, I've never been so excited to see a damn kicker in my life.
Right, then it happens so close to it. I just don't think he could help himself. It's just like, oh, I did it first. I did it. Like, no. I can't hold back any longer. Like, he sees.
I wonder what is that a kneecaps thing for him? Is that like a trying to stick to the identity thing, or like, dude, I just wonder. Like, I look at him sometimes and I'm like, yo, he's got rocks for brains, but clearly he's an excellent head coach. Like, what is going through his head?
He's
Dan
one
Campbell's
of us.
Did you say crazy?
Did he say luck? Did you say luck for brains?
He said rocks. But he's one of
us. I said rocks for brains. Yeah,
he's one of us, man.
I love it. See, that's why I love it. But I don't want to. None of us should be the head coach. But then again, he's so perfect for Detroit.
He sees the hot chick and he just can't help himself. Like, that's it. Like, the temptation.
I love it.
That hot ass is just right there, right in front, and he just can't pass it by.
He can't.
Right?
He really can't.
Like that's that. When Dan Campbell sees fourth downs, he sees the greatest female you've ever seen in your life, and he doesn't have the discipline to turn it down like 3 times in a row. No, he may do it once. Right? Maybe even twice. But she walks by a third time, Dan Campbell's breaking. He's sweating. He's looking real hard at the line. And he just was like, we got to do it. He's got that primal instinct in him, and like. That's the only way that makes sense to me to him. Like, he just can't help himself.
Yeah,
guys, what's the?
You think Ben Johnson? Go ahead.
No, go ahead, caller.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say, I wonder how much Ben Johnson plays into his decisions, because, like, dude, they have been remarkably efficient on those fourth downs and on those third downs. I remember end of the year last year against Green Bay when the playoffs were out of the picture, and they had that. It was like a pitch out to Swift, and then he tossed it back. It was some super unique play, and I wonder if he's so confident because Ben Johnson's he always has something schemed up for those like 4th and 2s, and even like those 4th and 8s. They look so good. And Amon-Ra, those little comeback routes, just so perfect.
Yeah, I just don't understand why you went to the pass in this game. Like, you were dominating. Even coming out in that second half, you were pushing them all around. Then all of a sudden, you get a first down. You pass it on first down, incomplete pass to Laporta. Now you're behind the sticks at 2nd and 2. I believe they got a 6-yard gain there. Then it was 3rd and 4, and they didn't get it.
And not much play action either.
They stopped doing what was working for them, and it's so bizarre when you have that offensive line to just like I don't say they give up on them, but they just went to the pass, and it's not like Jared Goff was off target.
Listen, the Lions players didn't make a lot of
not at all
egregious mistakes. They really didn't. This this is hung, I think, on the coaching staff. I think that there's a lot of different points in this game where we can point to where they should have done this and they did that. Trends that they got away from that were working. Not kicking when they should have. Running the ball when you actually have a shot down 10 and you need all 3 of your timeouts. There was a lot of inexperience on the coaching staff, I thought, tonight. And I really think that was more of the difference than it was Vildor's ball going off of his mask or some drop plays,
though.
you know.
What a play.
I mean, obviously they put their players in a position to succeed, and their players came up short on some really, really crucial plays. And we have lived by that sort. But we died by it today.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Can I play some sound from other reporters, or should I just stick with the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, don't worry. I don't want to hear anything from
Is
anybody
that how
else.
Grandpa Leo went down by the sword?
Kool-aid, let's take one last call.
All right, you know what? Asthmatic from Muskegon.
Asthmatic from Muskegon. All right. What's going on, Muskegon?
Gentlemen, I don't know where to begin.
Yeah.
Let me start by saying I'm 63. My first memory of this type situation with the Lions is in 1970. I was 10 years old, and I witnessed Jack Dempsey. I was laying on my grandpa's floor watching Tom Dempsey kick a 63-yard field goal to win the game.
With his 3-wood foot.
That's right.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks.
But anyways, I'm not disappointed we lost tonight. I'm disappointed in the way we lost tonight. Everybody keeps on bringing up we had a 3-possession lead, and we did. If we aren't going to use a field goal kicker, why do we have him on the team?
Right.
I mean, we could bring back in Dominican Sue. He could kick an extra point.
He could.
You know, we don't need a field goal kicker. Yeah. Why is he on the team if we aren't going to use him? It's just disappointing the way we lost.
Very, very, very.
Yeah. No, that's the most frustrating part. You had it right in front of you. It was within grasp.
Yeah.
They are who we thought they were, and we let them get away.
Denny Green.
It was a very good season. It was a very good season for us. I'm happy with it. Like I say, disappointed with the way we went out, but I don't think we were supposed to be there anyways. But we made it, and I think the future is bright for us.
Asthmatic, how many wins next year?
21.
What?
Savage?
Did you say 21?
21?
Did you say 21?
Dang.
I like that.
All right.
Oh,
love it.
21. I get it.
No, I get it. I know what he's saying, but damn.
Actually, if we finish 17-0, it'd only be 20 because we'd have the home field. Yeah.
No, it's 21 because of the 18-week season.
Well, it's 17 we play though.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Math.
Yeah. Well,
So anyways, you guys, I enjoyed.
We appreciate you, Asthmatic.
Thank you, man. Have a great time in Muskegon.
Yeah, right.
Beautiful part of the country. If you've never been to
We'll be
Muskegon,
back
they got a
next
nice little
year.
downtown area.
Real quick,
It's a good
guys,
time in
the
Muskegon.
kickers on the shopping list for 3rd or 4th round. Let's Joshua Carty from Stanford, Cam Little, Arkansas, Will Reichert, Alabama,
With
Noah,
third, fourth
Noah
round
Rauschenberg,
grades?
North Texas.
They have 3rd, 4th round grades. That many?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I'm estimating, like, a 4th round pick on these guys. Or,
Well, I mean, typically not. I mean, when you see a great kicker come out, they might go in the. Well, we're not talking
Moody went in the
Janikowski,
third.
but
Moody went in the third.
between the 2nd and 4th
Moody did
round.
go in the 3rd at
Is
the
he
very
3rd
end,
or
right?
4th,
I
right?
thought he was a 4th, but
As long as we don't Sebastian Janikowski this.
do we have a
I would have loved
cream of the crop
Janikowski
kicker? Is there
today,
somebody
man.
we should hope
I
for?
can't make a
Janikowski wins us
graphic
this
like
game,
right
dude.
here, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, make the fucking graphic, Pete. What the
Wish
hell
I
are you
had the
doing over
program
there?
right here.
Jesus, Pete.
Suck.
Yeah.
Suck.
Fucking
I'm
grandpa.
leaving.
Yeah, get out of here, Pete. Boo.
No, don't go. I don't want to.
Well, thank you guys. That's pretty much it for the post-game show of the NFC Championship game. It is tough sledding. I'm sure we're going to beat this horse to death over the next week here on Woodward Sports, so enjoy every show that you want. Make sure you wake up tomorrow with the Morning Woodward Show, and then roll on into Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, and then we got Ermanni and Edwards. Heavyweights will be in the house. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz.
Who?
With Maz.
Oh.
With Maz and Pete Spivak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kool-Aid, thank you for a wonderful season in the sound booth.
Yeah, holding it down, bro.
Appreciate
Thank
you and all that you do for the network. Anson, another season comes to an end. Much better result than we've had in the past. Not quite the result we wanted.
No. I'm just sad.
I was really hoping to slap you in the face when we could tell you this never say SOL again, but looks like we got to wait till next year.
I'm not looking forward to saying it, and
yeah, you are.
I'm really not, man. I thank you
peace,
guys,
Grandpa.
honestly, everybody. This has been a fantastic year, and it's sad to sign off for the season, but we'll be back and better than ever next
Can I
season.
jump in real quick? I just want to say thanks
Damn
very
it,
much
Pete.
for, since I started late November, it's nice to be included with you guys, and I really enjoyed our short time together, and I hope we have another long, lengthy relationship
Pete,
next season.
I don't even remember who was in that booth before you. All I know is the show was weaker. That's all I know.
Then I've done my job.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Thank you,
it
Pete.
is weaker. We have more weeks in it. It was a little bit longer this year.
All right, thank you, guys. MCDC, love you, but kick the fucking field goal
That's
next
right.
year. Thank you.
The Lions.
Later.
Especially in a 3-point game.
Oh, kick the field goal on the road.
All right.
Rest in peace, Grandpa.